Hello, and welcome to the 48th episode of Cora's Place. I'm so glad you've chosen to join me for today's conversation. In today's episode, I'll be talking about friendships and the joys and challenges that come with them. As always, if you like what you hear, please leave a review and/or comments, follow my podcast, and tell your friends. Also, please follow the podcast page I've made on Facebook. If you'd like to contact me via email instead of a Facebook message, you can email me at corachin@mailbox.org. If you are new here, welcome. I'm your host, Cora, and I'm so excited to have you on this journey with me. Today, I want to talk about friendships, the bonds we can create with others through the gift of friendship, and also the challenging or painful moments of ending friendships that can sometimes happen. I know this is a topic I have kind of covered before in previous episodes, but I thought it might be good to cover it again and hopefully go more in depth. I will share some of my thoughts that I've shared in previous episodes. First, let's dive into the bonds of friendships. Friendships are such an incredible blessing to have in life. In many cases, friendships are amazing, but sometimes friendships can be rough. I have been in both of those situations at times. When friendships are rough, it can be hard to know what to do. Some things I have learned, and that I'm actually still trying to learn, to be honest, are that not everyone wants to be friends. Friendships don't necessarily last forever. Friendships can either be really close, or you can feel more like acquaintances than friends. Friendships are sometimes really rough, and that friends will hurt you sometimes. I have noticed that having a few really good friends to talk to when you're struggling is really helpful, but there are also some people that you shouldn't necessarily be friends with. I have been through both situations where I have had some really close friends and some that weren't so good. It's not always easy to make new friends, though. It's especially hard when you've been deeply wounded by someone before, especially when you were really close to them. When that happens, it's okay and totally normal to feel upset, hurt, betrayed, and numb. I've gone through that before, and it's not easy, and it really does hurt, but we have to trust that God will get us through it. Going through hard things isn't fun, but trials help us to grow closer to God. When you do have friendship or relationship issues, it's important to ask or give forgiveness, no matter how hard that might be, and even if you don't get to verbalize that to the other person. Some of the good memories that I have with friends include ones made at youth groups, small groups, church, and with neighbors I used to have at one point of my life. I have a lot of friends in my life that I'm so thankful for. Having good friends is so important. They can help you when you're struggling, be there for you, laugh with you, cry with you, protect you, talk with you, pray with and for you, uplift you, hang out with you, guide you, help you in your journey as a Christian, encourage you, and so much more. It's important to have friends that will pull you up and along to Jesus instead of pulling you down and away from Him. I love having friends, especially when they're Christian friends. Christian friends are so wonderful to do Bible studies with and to help you share the gospel with others. I am so thankful for all of my friends that have said they are there for me and truly showed me, rather than just saying that they're there for me. Having friends is such an incredible gift from God. True friends will always be there for you. They will listen and care for you when you are struggling. A few genuine and deep friendships are so much better than having many fake or shallow friendships. I am so thankful that God has given me a few really good and healthy friendships. I have one friend who I have only known since early October of 2020, but my friendship with her seems to be extremely healthy, and being friends with her has been absolutely amazing so far. Having her friendship in my life has been such a blessing and gift to me. She encourages me, makes me feel cared about, acknowledges my feelings, listens when I need to talk, and she prays for me. Sometimes, however, God chooses to take things away from us, though, and in return, He gives us things that are so much better for us. One example in particular that comes to mind from my own life is how He took my friendship with my old best friend away from me and replaced it with one that seems so much healthier and better. There are definitely times where I still miss my old best friend, though. That might always be the case, but I don't know. With that particular friend I met in October 2020, I feel like she and I were able to get together a lot more at some points than I was ever able to with my old best friend, which I have mentioned in previous episodes and will mention again coming up soon in this episode. Sometimes it's still hard due to schedules to hang out, but it seemed like she and I got to hang out more, at least at some points, than I was ever able to with my old best friend. I haven't gotten to see her or hang out with my friend that I met in 2020 for a while, though, at least as of the recording of this episode. But I love getting together with my friend when we're able to. She's an amazing friend, and I'm so glad I have her in my life. God deserves all the glory, honor, and praise for giving me a friendship I wasn't aware that I needed in one of the hardest seasons of my life. I mean, yes, I've had a lot of hard times in my life, but losing friendships is definitely not something I would recommend to anybody ever. Losing a friendship hurts, stings, and at times it can seem impossible to heal from. Healing is possible, though. God is powerful enough that He can help us heal from losing a friendship or even a relationship, even toxic ones. Now, let's dive into the painful moments when a friendship ends. In early to mid August of 2020, I unfortunately had an amazing friendship, or at least a friendship I thought was amazing, end unexpectedly, and it left me feeling hurt, sad, mad, confused, heartbroken, crushed, and devastated. I guess also just a little bit lost, too, because she was one of my best friends. To not have that particular friendship now is still really hard for me sometimes, but I feel like I'm doing a lot better with it now than I was. I think God took that friendship away from me because He knew that it wasn't healthy, and He also knew that I was going to meet my other friend just a couple of months after that, and it was going to work out a lot better than things with my old best friend ever did. It was also going to be a lot healthier of a friendship than the one with my old best friend ever was. God took that really hard thing in my life, and He blessed me with an amazing friendship that I probably wouldn't have now if I didn't go through that trial. That was probably one of the hardest trials I have ever had to go through in my life, but God used it for His good and His glory. I mean, yes, I still miss that friendship with my old best friend sometimes and wish I still had it, but thankfully, I have been able to open up to other people since then. Losing my friendship with my old best friend was one of the hardest things I have ever walked through in my life, but God was with me the whole time, and He even provided a friendship I wasn't aware I needed at that point. When I met the other friend, I was very happy and grateful that God gave me a friendship that was so much healthier than the one that I lost. As sad as it is to say, friendship losses are, unfortunately, a common thing to face in life. I have gone through a couple of them before in my own life, and they really are so very difficult. They are heartbreaking to have to go through. It does eventually get better, but it definitely takes time to heal. If you are facing that right now, please reach out to me. I want to help if I can. Do not try to face it on your own. Surround yourself with people who will support you. It can be really helpful and it can make such a difference. Even if you have someone who will walk through it with you, they are still so incredibly hard to go through. I am not at all trying to minimize the pain or make you think that it doesn't matter. The truth is that your pain in this situation really does matter, and you need to have people to support you through it. Facing it alone will not help as much. You can also turn to God because He is trustworthy and He wants to help you through it as well. It could really help your relationship with Him to grow because you're talking to Him and honestly sharing your struggles. Even sharing with other people can help too. I am so thankful to have at least a few people in my life that are willing to help me through trials I face. Again, if you need to reach out to someone, please reach out to me. I would love to talk to you and help you if I can. I know this episode was mostly about friendships, but I think these things, both the good and the hard, can also apply to any relationships, like between a boyfriend and girlfriend, or anything like that. Sometimes even families can go through this, and that would be so sad to have to deal with. As sad as it is, that is unfortunately a reality for some people. Please know that even if I didn't mention your exact situation in this episode, it is not at all that I don't care. I really do care. For me, it's just easier to share from my own experiences. I mean, maybe you can relate to something I said. If that's the case and it was helpful for you, I am so glad I was able to help. And like I said before, please reach out to me if you need to talk to someone. I would love to talk to you and help you in any way I can. Being able to talk to someone is helpful for me when I'm struggling, and it might just be helpful for you too. However, please don't feel any pressure to reach out if you don't want to, though. I just want to make sure that you know that I am happy to listen if you need someone to talk to. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please follow, leave a comment, and a review of my podcast if you haven't already, and please follow my podcast page on Facebook so you never miss an update. If you have any verses you'd like me to read on a future episode, or if you have any topics you'd like me to talk about, you can email me at corachin@mailbox.org, or you can send me a message on my podcast page on Facebook through the link in the show notes, and I will get back to you when I can. Hope you tune in next week for the 49th episode.